Hello. How are we gonna get past this?
Barricades in the way.
Let me help! Let me help!
He
Hi, I'm
watched. Hello.
I like how he stands though with
Me
the
too.
spear.
Like his little like buckler shield on his hip.
Go for it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mikhail.
Explode.
Well,
You dumbass!
Zero!
Oh my god. In the brain, like how?
Zero! You stabbed me! It's stuck in me! Zero, get it out! Get it out!
Well, stop moving then.
I know.
Damn it, or I'm gonna...
Oh my god. She's dead.
Rest in
Game
peace.
over.
Yeah.
I wish they would have given you like a second of like a game over screen. That would have been so funny.
Mean. You're a fucking idiot. Come on, 4's waiting.
Fine.
Okay. It just looks.
That was some rough
Identical.
sailing right there.
Dito.
Oh,
what
I
are you
see.
doing?
Just okay.
How come you didn't get caught in the collapse?
Oh.
Well,
What was
your
that?
pal there
Oh, a
wasn't smart
checkpoint.
enough to
I
blow
can't
up
believe
just the barricade.
Tito was like, oh, I
Came
went.
back to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Okay, let
dumb
me.
me, asshole.
I feel like I was gonna say something about. Well, I'm just trying to think about Zero's like voice acting.
Like in that cutscene.
In general.
Well, yeah, but just
Yeah,
That
I was
cutscene,
just
think of it.
thinking about like, does she have like a different kind of juxtaposition?
Whoa.
Like it's not like, oh, she's like a cruel mistress, but she's always calm about it. It's like she's like Vinci and she's like mean, but she has like a very like warm kind of like tone to her voice, like just the actress, I think.
Yeah.
And so it's like in one regard, I mean, like maybe I'm reading too much into it just because we were talking about it. Like in one regard, like she seems like evil,
probably
or
tell.
not
Oh, okay,
evil. She
right.
seems like cruel, but you kind of
I wonder what.
get the feeling that it's not completely serious. That maybe it's kind of like a front, you know?
Sorry. Yeah.
Because it's like who is really just that cut and dry, like mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And sometimes, I mean, like she's not always like just mean. And you kind of wonder, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it because I know. I don't. I mean, blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to say is like, just kind of knowing
Zero!
what her goal is
Go in the normal way.
What do you mean?
in killing her sisters. That it's maybe not just like, because we've talked about that. Like, you don't really know if like she's doing good or evil.
Right. Yeah.
Like
she's
the
so
ambiguity
goddamn
of that kind of
clever,
lends you to being like, well, she could be good.
We'll make our way through here. You fly up.
Oh
and
my
find
god, I don't know. I'm literally just like rambling like thoughts. Like these are
it's
not
okay.
formed thoughts at all.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting to think about that. Like maybe her kind of like her ambiguity can also be conveyed like through her voice acting. Like she's mean, but she means well, or something, or like it deep down, like she cares for like Mikhail and whatever. Like
Okay.
otherwise, why would she have Mikhail
There's his
around? You know, his arm.
Yeah. Okay.
Zero?
Yeah, I mean that's probably it. I don't know if I'm
What kind of sister?
I'm not just gonna
Yeah.
sit here and keep rambling, even though that's the whole LP. But you know,
Like five?
Not quite like
Slutty?
that. She acts
Oh,
all
boy.
sugary sweet on the surface, but deep down she's evil.
Oh yeah.
And you kind of have to be evil to be a virgin.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
yeah,
What's a virgin?
Never mind.
for again, I don't know how much to like say. It's like it
Really.
really
About your health.
like
Virgins.
I can say anything because the DLC are all prequels, and it just gives you characterization.
oh yeah,
So I could tell you anything, but I don't know what I'm concerned about. Not concerned about. What I'm thinking about is like do I want to go in depth to these characters when it's like, if you never played the game before, you don't know who the fuck I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I would
You've
say...
never even been introduced to them.
I would say talk about it once we've met the characters,
Yeah.
at least. I mean, it would be interesting for me, but I can
I know.
wait, you know.
I just hope I remember.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, it's not like it's a huge deal.
Yeah. Okay, go this way. But yeah, so to continue on with my point that I made in the last episode, I mean, I more or less made it, but so if I can, maybe there's more to talk about. There was just a different tone. You know, it's like I more or less said it in the episode where we're talking about the humor, and then you solidified it. We were like, yeah, there's kind of like this fourth wall breaking, like irreverence to a lot of the stuff, and you know, the humor is just weird. And the first game doesn't have that. The first game, you know, and I think it's interesting because I think it shows maybe some maturity in Yoko Taro as a writer, where I get, and this is kind of like how I feel, where I feel like I'm sure it wasn't the first thing that he wrote, but I feel like early on in like my creative endeavors, all of my work, and I still kind of go back to it, but all of my work was like deadly serious.
Yes.
And like no fun. It was like I have all of these emotions, and it's like, I mean, depending on the person, like I had a troubled youth, and you will learn about it.
No, I totally agree.
And then I think like his works now just have like depth in their tone, and they're just more fun. I think you kind of just stop being so serious.
Yeah,
at
totally.
a certain point.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Like, I can tell that like I don't write a lot, like, or I haven't written a lot recently. Like for my personal, you know, satisfaction or my personal projects or whatever. But I know that if I wrote now, there would definitely be like humor to it. Like,
yeah,
when I write like personal essays and stuff like that, or like reviews, there's always like a tone of humor to it. But I read, I read my creative fiction from when I was, you know, when I was first writing and like first feeling confident about my writing, you know. And I'm like, who the fuck wrote this?
I know, like, what troubled teen?
Yeah, like,
wrote
what
this?
serious, like, it's still, like, one of my favorite things I've, like, written. And, like, maybe I'm probably, like, a little biased because I like, not to fucking humble brag or something, but, I, like, entered this writing, like, contest thing at this community college that I was going to. And I won like a first place like prize for this short story. And I like reread it recently, and I think I edited it a little bit. And I was like, who's this serious bitch who wrote this like moody story about like a woman who was having like this affair like with her like repairman or something weird. And like saying it out loud is like so funny.
Yeah.
But like these moody like I just think about it, I can just remember it vividly, like, the description of, like, I was, like, describing, like, him as, like, this thunderstorm, as, like, a thunderstorm, like, rolled in, like, on, you know, like, on the block or something, and I was, like, dying, like, reading it, like, I was, like, 18,
yeah,
and I decided to write this story, like,
yeah.
Never fucking dated anyone, let alone, like, been like this character in like married cheating on her husband. Like, who was I?
I know, like the mature thing.
Yeah.
It was like the first thing that I wrote was like,
yeah,
like, I mean, there's earlier stuff, but like the first thing that I remember was like the short film that I wrote, and it was like this girl that like became obsessed with like this poet.
Yeah.
And she like kills herself, and then like from there, like, a goddess, like, inhabits her body to enter, like, the mortal realm, and then, like, a cult tries to capture her. and I mean, like, the story that I'm writing now is kind of like that, but then it was, like, last year I wrote a story about, like, someone that goes to a con and they make friends. And
Yeah.
it's like they work at a comic book
Yeah.
shop and it's like romantic
I
comedy.
know,
It's like-
yeah. I know.
Did I get a weapon? I think I did. I think I did. Sometimes my voice does this thing. Oh, that's just Thunderlord.
Sinful
Thunderlord.
Scream.
I know. A twisted tiger. I used one item. Oh, we have access to medium recovery potions. Medium recovery.
Oh my god.
Can we upgrade? Can we upgrade anything, even though I'm not using any other weapon? Okay. I don't remember. You don't have to upgrade all weapons, I don't think. I don't remember. I think it's for like a trophy, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't bother yet.
I think you just need all the weapons to access a certain chapter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But yeah, so people were expecting Drakengard 1, like the dark tone, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
They really liked it. It was, and I watched. It was one of those, I talked about it before in like some other Let's Play we were doing, where people on YouTube, they do like, oh, like here's like Final Fantasy 15, like the movie, like all the cutscenes and stuff like that. And I like it because it's like, that's what I care about. And it's like either, like I haven't played a game, but I want to know the story, or like I've played a game and it's like, I want it, but I don't want to play it.
So
I just want the story again.
Sure, yeah.
Like, especially because it's like Final Fantasy, it's like I don't want to play through, you know, Final
Maybe
Fantasy
if you
like
didn't
10,
feel double
you know, for the
bad,
5th
right?
time. I just want the story, you know, spoon-fed to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one for Drakengard 1, which I think I've seen. I'm pretty sure I've watched stuff like that. But this one included how do I? Okay.
Oh.
Had to remember. Oh boy. All right. These are both like well designed and like fun, and also the worst designed game I've ever played, and like horrible. She called someone an asshat. Okay,
Hilarious.
To lock on. It's easier when you lock on. Oh my
Got a
god.
leg up on you in the local popularity ratings.
Oh, I killed it. Alright, I love this frame rate. It's great. Like rendering all these enemies and me flying around and shooting stuff.
Yeah.
The game is like, who thought you could do this? And I was like, you, because you programmed this very section, my dear.
I can hear
But yeah, there was like a lot of like really interesting and cool kind of concepts that happen in the first Drakengard game, and there's a lot of like like I was talking about like I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about the pre-rendered cutscenes. There was just like really cool visual things that they did. There was like this character that went into like, this is so funny, abstracted of everything. There's this character that went into like this egg and like came out and like became like this like horrific like angel, and she like ate her lover or like impaled him.
Oh.
And it was like really cool. Can I please? Or okay, thank you. But they have shields. Okay. God. Oh, boy. But, you know, just like really cool visual kind of stuff. And it's not to say that like this game isn't visually visually interesting or striking, because it is. That's one of the reasons
Yeah,
why
for sure.
Elise and I liked it so much when we played it. Oh god.
Wow.
2 frames per second, honey.
Yeah, jeez.
How,
Sounds
like
like
how else do you play video games if not at 2 frames?
Yeah. You're
yourself
not
a
playing
gamer.
video games unless
Yeah.
you're playing at the lowest frame rate.
Yeah.
Hard mode activate.
Yeah.
No casual.
Like I think the
What the?
what? Something touched you?
Yeah. It wasn't Cookie. Because she's gone, right? She's gone. Alright, okay, just give me a second because I need to investigate or else I'm going to lose my mind.
Alright, hold on.
It was literally just my sheet coming off and touching me, but it felt like something. Oh, thank God. It was this yarn falling and touching my foot. Because it felt like you're like touched, like have it touch you. It feels like a paw or something, right?
Okay, yeah.
It scared the shit out of me. Woo, keep that in.
Okay.
Let me fix my sheet though so I don't get scared.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that got me. Like, who am I? Am I fucking... Why was I gonna say... Am I the fucking donkey from Pinocchio? Like,
There's so much space.
There's so much... Okay.
You never told me. Okay. Fine.
It was nothing. I don't know if we'll keep that in, but it was nothing.
I'll
Okay.
give them the context. Like, I'll just cut around it. Yeah, the Watchers, they have many names.
Scary sometimes.
They're called, like, the Watchers, or they're called Grotesqueries. I think they're just angels, like what's in this game. And in the first Drakengard game, they're literally just giant babies made out of salt. And like in this game, the angels are obviously a little more designed. Like, so that's cool. And I think the characters have more interesting designs. And like, you know, like, it's not like...
Dumb beast like you to understand.
I guess I'm just like trying to my case or like counterpoints that I think that this game is.
Okay.
Or I don't want people to think, oh, Petra doesn't think that this game is visually interesting. It's very far from it. But there was just like really cool things going on in the first Drakengard game, and I think people wanted more of that. And I also think that the second Drakengard game probably didn't help because it was like, well, this isn't what we want either. This isn't the same tone as the first one.
Yeah.
The second one was a little more like your generic JRPG, and it wasn't written or directed by Yoko Taro. Okay. And it's the same character designer, but like the music's different, like the tone, the plot is kind of different, you know.
Looks like you killed all of them
but
after all.
people just expected a certain kind of thing, and a lot of people were disappointed. And then people that were new to the Drakengard series played it, didn't know that there were multiple endings, or maybe did know, but they reached the first ending and were like, this is awful. Because arguably, the game doesn't... I mean, I know a lot of games claim this, or a lot of fans will claim this, but the game doesn't get good until, like, ending, like, C or D. Like, the last two endings, where it, like, finally uncovers the truth. Which is something that the first game did. The first Drakengard, it was, like, very, like, heavy-handedly, like, each ending, like, uncovered more of the truth. Like, you were getting closer and closer to maybe what actually happened. I've heard people kind of read it that way, which I kind of like and agreed with when I looked at like the cutscenes, like that movie. But yeah, and so it's like the presentation in terms of like the irreverent like dialogue and like the bad frame rate and like the gameplay is decent, but like, you know, all these things. This game wasn't. I keep burping, but you can't hear them because I burp silently. I'm a weirdo.
So yeah, point it out.
Yeah, well, because I stopped talking for like a couple seconds. And they're like, what's happening? What was my point? Just that people don't like this game, and people make cases against it, and there are people like this, you know, don't start with 3, start with the first one, or only play the first one, or whatever. And that's just how compilation media is always going to be. Like, there are series where it's like, I like the first one, and I hate everything else that comes after it, because nothing has the spirit that the first one has. Yeah. But
for me, it's always like the opposite. Like, I don't know if it's specifically like video games, but like really like with music a lot of the time. And I think you can kind of relate them. Like, you fall in love with like their most like recent style, or like you've been with them from the beginning and you can't, like, there's two different kinds of people and you can't like reconcile like it's just impossible, because it's like I fell in love with like I think about Persona, and it's like I didn't play like Persona 4 first, but like I could have easily. And you can translate it to like the earlier like Shin Megami whatever Tensei games, but like you play those games and you just get used to like the mechanics and the visuals and like like I feel like you get used to like the minor things, and it's like maybe the first Drakengard has like a really intense like cool like feel and like story, but
I see what point you're making.
you know what I make?
Yeah, but
you know what I'm making, but like mechanically you couldn't
can't go
possibly.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same with like music. I feel like I started so many thoughts and then didn't finish them. Where it's like I love Green Day, and like when I was young, like I was really into Green Day, and like I started listening to like American Idiot, and it was like I was like, ooh, I want to like listen to everything. Like I want everything.
This has everything.
This has everything. And I went and like got like their like original like first like compilation, like, you know, used to be vinyl, but you know now it's all on like a CD.
I do not think your point would be this long.
Okay, I'm done.
No, I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going? It's okay. You can.
Petra's mean to me.
Do you want to continue in the next episode?
Can you help me? I was done. It's horrible. The original Green Day is awful.
Okay,
Same with My Chemical Romance.
I was even going to say with like even in the Persona series, we started with 3.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going back to 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm
not
sure
if
people...
not if the mechanics devolved.
Yeah, and I'm not...
Like even going back, I'm sorry, even going back to 3 from like 4 is like dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people that hear us say that and they're like, what? Like, that's horrible. They're like, how could you, like, you know, like 1 and 2 was so good, whatever. And it's like, I mean, it's like, can't have it all.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, in this day and age where a lot of, it's so funny, where a lot of media is vying for my attention, you know, I can't go back and suffer, quote unquote, suffer through things that I'm not used to.
I was going to say, and this is not an idiom, but my brain supplied this, like, can't have your bread and your ice cream.
You can't, you know?
Yeah.
You're right. All right. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed the show, please like, comment, and subscribe.
If you'd like to see our channel grow, why not tell your friends about us?
We are pretty cool, but we won't tell you what to do.
See you in the next episode.
Stay wicked!